All right, let's move on. Next list: wishful thinking games. Games that are completely unannounced. We'd like to see in 2021.
Yeah, so these are like literally dream games, games that we have wanted to see for many years,
Hmm.
or even a game that you just thought of recently. So quite the list for both of us. We'll kind of run through it. So I've got a Battlefield Bad Company 2 remake slash remaster because I'd be happy with either or.
Hmm.
I think a remaster would be just fine for most, but I'm sure most people would like to see a remake. Is that going to happen? I doubt it. I think there's been a lot of banter about it for many, many years with Dice, and I just don't know if it's a focus for them.
Hmm.
And it is a bit sad because there's a community out there that is absolutely obsessed with Bad Company 2,
Right.
and I think Dice recognizes that they really struck some magic when they made that game, and it's a shame that they don't want to rekindle it, or at least not yet. So
Right. Right.
we'll see. Next would be Battlefield 3 remake or remaster. I spent a good portion of my life in playing both of those games, and probably too many hours of my life. But it was a tremendous game, an amazing marketing campaign. Is some of the best marketing I've ever seen for a game ever. And I would love to see that game come back again in the form of a remake or a remaster.
Hmm.
Number 3 on the list is Metal Gear Solid 6, a game that will probably likely never happen. But hey, again, a boy can dream.
Right.
Uh, the reason for that is just simple. I love the series. Everybody knows that. I mean, I freaking have a Solid Snake tattoo on my arm. Actually, it's Big Boss, but you get the point. And I just absolutely love that series, and I would just love to be able to sneak around the way that you can in MGS5,
Hmm.
just with PS5 graphics and a new engine,
Hmm.
and Kojima behind the wheel. But that is a large order
Yeah.
that probably will again not happen.
Yep.
So
As Killer
next
Sirach
week,
mentioned, Konami dropped the ball here with their franchises.
yeah, I'm still kind of bitter in some
Hmm.
ways about what happened to MGS5. Apparently, because of the ousting of Kojima, there was parts of the story that sort of got cut off and trimmed, and
Hmm.
I think it's pretty noticeable.
Hmm.
But that's something I'd have to talk about at a different time.
Right.
We have Asura's Wrath 2, again, remake or remaster of one. Um, or actually, I'm sorry, Asura's Wrath 2 or a remake or remaster of one.
Hmm.
Cherish the first game. Again, have a tattoo of that dude on my left arm, so
Right.
that makes two passionate series there.
Hmm.
And yeah, I again, this is a game that unlikely will happen, really just because I think that studio is either really kind of non-existent at this point,
Hmm.
or if they are, they're probably working on something different. I think that was a really special game, and it was one of those games that just kind of came and went. Didn't get received that well, got received better later.
Hmm.
But man, if they brought back just even a remaster of one, I think I'd be really content with that.
Right.
New Silent Hill, think a lot of people want to see this one. Fantastic series, super creepy. It fell off after Silent Hill 4. I think most would agree with that one.
Right.
I think after that, it was Homecoming and then some PSP titles and a bunch of other hogwash that just didn't have good reception. Um, Apparently, there were rumors that Kojima and Norman Reedus were supposed to actually come out with a game called Silent Hills. And then there's been a little bit of sort of vague, cryptic banter about the series coming back recently. So we'll see. Um,
Yeah, I think
Final Fantasy,
I'm sorry. I think that the that reboot of Silent Hill kind of became Death Stranding. That Norman Reedus partnership.
yeah, it ended
Yeah.
up being. I think it went from like Silent Hills, and then PT was apparently some sort of like teaser of that, something that they had started,
Hmm.
and then yeah, and then Death Stranding came to be because that partnership didn't end. I,
Right.
I I don't know if Kojima just said, okay, well, we can't do this, so let's do something different, or if he just had Death Stranding in the works the entire time.
Right. Right.
With Kojima, you never know.
Right.
Final Fantasy Tactics remake or remaster. Again, I'm putting this whole remake slash remaster thing because I'm really content with either or. I just like to see a lot of these games that are really beloved by a lot of people to come back in some way, shape, or form. And I think most would be happy with again either or. Metal Gear Solid 1 remake. This is something that people have been asking for years. We technically got it with the GameCube, but most know that that was just not really up to par. The graphics were good and the gameplay was good, but the cutscenes apparently in the dialogue and the script were completely altered. I know Damien can speak on that one because I'm pretty sure he played the whole thing.
Mm,
Um, but I'd like to see that, and there's strong rumors of that actually happening. I don't know if it's completely confirmed, but there was supposed to be a movie as well, and I'm not sure what happened with that either.
mhm, mhm.
Last two, Sekiro 2. There's a good chance this could happen. The first game was a massive success, so I wouldn't doubt it that FromSoft could, work up another one or at least a nice fat DLC for us to partake in.
Mhm.
And then lastly, this one's huge for me. Spoken about it before. All the Metal Gear Solid games need to be playable on the PS4 and PS5,
Mm.
or at least the PS4. This is an ongoing struggle that I still have a hard time wrapping my head around. I don't understand why such a beloved series is not playable on either one of these systems, or at least not fully. The last time I checked, which again was recently, the only way that you can play through all these games, with the exception of five, is to have a PS3
Yeah.
or an Xbox 360. I want to say you might be able to do most of them on the Xbox One with backwards compatibility,
Mhm.
but I do know that if you want to just play, the series again from start to finish properly, you need a PS3 and you need the Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection, which
Okay.
is what I have, and even that's kind of hard to find. So I just find it incredibly mysterious and strange that, again, such a beloved series is so difficult to play on even a PS4,
Mm.
a system that came out in what, 2013.
Yeah.
So I really, really need to see those games get ported over and ported over well, and not botched up
Yeah.
like the Silent Hill remasters that we got forever ago.
Yep. Yep. Um, yeah, I mean, if you could play those games on the Xbox One, you'll be able to play them on the Xbox X or Series X or Series S. So,
There we go.
I mean,
At least there's that, I guess.
if it's worth it to you to drop $300 on a Series S to play those games,
Well, I mean, hey, your boy's still got a PS3 over here,
I
so
know. I'm
I,
just offering some solutions.
I know. Oh my God. That
uh,
suggestion will never die, folks, by the way. For anybody that's new to the show, I'm constantly being asked to get a Microsoft system.
oh goodness. Well, you got to give me a reason not